A gentle breeze of history stirs as we peel back the layers of an unassuming penny from 2005, uncovering stories that stretch from Abraham Lincoln's visage to the pressing errors that have collectors buzzing. What seems like pocket change at first glance carries whispers of minting mishaps, limited runs, and auction houses vying for top bids. Today, our journey begins with this humble copper disc, a coin that quietly slipped into circulation yet stands out as a prized find for seasoned collectors and everyday holders alike. By the end of this segment, you'll know how to spot its defining traits, understand why enthusiasts chase it, and grasp the values attached to various conditions, all wrapped up in tales that breathe life into metal and dates stamped in history. Back in 2005, the U.S. Mint was churning out billions of pennies, each carrying Lincoln's low-relief portrait designed by Victor David Brenner over a century earlier. While most pieces bore the familiar wheat ears reversed through 1958 or the shield reverse design introduced in 2010, the Lincoln cent remained a steadfast icon. That year marked the 17th consecutive production of the Lincoln Memorial Reverse, which bore a tiny rendering of the monument between oak branches. Yet, even amid routine striking, the machinery occasionally produced offbeat results, double strikes, weak strikes, and off-center errors that transformed a cent into a coveted treasure. Those anomalies trace back to worn dies needing replacement or coins slipping slightly from feeders, creating specimens that now command attention far beyond face value. Spotting a rare 2005 penny starts with examining its edge and center. A correctly centered coin shows Lincoln's profile perfectly balanced. Any shift exceeding 2 millimeters hints at an off-center error. Similarly, a double-struck penny reveals faint ghosting of the design, sometimes just around the rim, sometimes overlapping the portrait itself. Beyond these dramatic mistakes, look for repunched mint marks. A tiny D for Denver, when repunched, can display an overlapping echo of the letter, almost as if someone traced the original twice. Experts armed with magnifiers can pinpoint whether this doubling occurred on the mint mark or elsewhere on the field. Each irregularity elevates the coin from everyday change to headline-grabbing specimen. Auction results over the past decade underscore how desirability shapes value. A well-centered, flawless 2005 D penny in pristine mint state can fetch around $5 to $10, reflecting its status as a common date coin in top condition. However, a bold, off-center strike that shifts Lincoln's profile by 40% or more has soared to over $2,500 in specialist auctions. One notable sale in 2022 saw a 35% off-center 2005 P example reach $1,800, illustrating how dramatic errors command premium bids. Similarly, a double-struck 2005 P piece with clear doubling around the rim and date achieved $1,200 in a private sale the same year. These records testify to collectors' willingness to chase anomalies even when face value remains a solitary cent. Beyond numbers, each 2005 penny carries a little lore. Collectors recall a handful of off-center runs discovered by bank tellers who shuffled large rolls of change. These coins, often mixed with everyday pennies, found their way into collections purely by chance. One dealer reports a customer who spent an evening sorting through a jar of small change, unearthing 2 off-center 2005 D pennies that together sold for over $3,000. It stands as a reminder that remarkable pieces can lurk in unreadable pockets or dusty coin dishes. Those stories fuel the excitement of collecting, the belief that something extraordinary could be spinning at the bottom of your wallet. When evaluating condition-based values, the scale swings dramatically. A circulated 2005 penny with minor, where might trade for 10 or 12 cents among dealers focused on bulk lots. However, once you step into uncirculated grades, values climb steadily. MS63, Mint State 63, examples tend to list around $2 to $4, while near-perfect MS67 coins, rare for this date, can demand $20 or more. Striking errors amplify these figures. An MS65 off-center error sold for over $6,000 in early 2024, underscoring how an advanced grade multiplies value. It pays to know your Sheldon scale and to seek professional grading for high-end finds, as buyers often trust third-party authentication when large sums are at stake. The metal composition of 2005 pennies adds another layer to their appeal. Composed of 97.5% zinc core with a thin copper plating, these coins differ markedly from earlier all-copper cents. That difference means a few 2005 pennies show plating defects or even bear zinc surfaces where copper has worn away. While normally a defect would devalue a coin, plating flakes revealing brilliant zinc beneath can attract attention. Collectors refer to these as zinc bleeders. A well-preserved zinc bleeder example auctioned in late 2023 reached $750 simply because the contrast between copper and gold and zinc is visually striking. It reminds us that rarity often emerges from unexpected quirks. For an experienced collector exploring error coins, authenticity is paramount. Seek coins with clear, sharp anomalies. Fuzzy or indistinct doubling might indicate post-mint damage rather than a genuine minting error. Professional grading services often assign an error type designation, confirming the anomaly's legitimacy. Pair that certification with high-resolution photographs, and you'll have a compelling portfolio piece. Conversely, avoid pieces showing scratches or die chips that mimic errors. Those will disappoint at resale time. Learning to differentiate between mint state marvels and damage masquerading as rarity is a skill honed over years of examining slab coins under expert lighting. If you hold a jar of 2005 pennies, resist the urge to judge by date alone. Run your thumb across the rim, shine a light at oblique angles, and peer through a 10x loop to catch subtle repunched mint marks or faint doubling. Sometimes a seemingly normal penny can reveal a whisper of an error that ups its value from cents to hundreds. And when you're ready to take a find to the next level, consignment through a reputable auction house will showcase your piece to the right audience, ensuring competitive bidding and transparent grading standards. As we wrap up this exploration of the 2005 penny, keep in mind that every scrape, shift, and shimmer on its surface tells part of its story. From the humdrum roll it spent in circulation to the spotlight of a collector's case, each coin captures a moment of minting history. Next, we'll turn our attention to the 2006 penny, another year that yielded unexpected marvels and twists in the tale. Prepare to uncover its own lineup of quirks, values, and anecdotes that turn mere metal into miniature time capsules. Picking up where our last tale left off, the 2006 Lincoln Cent brings its own collection of surprises that belie its humble appearance. While the date might look familiar, just another penny minted for everyday transactions, closer inspection reveals an array of quirks that excite seasoned numismatists and casual handlers who stumble upon something extraordinary. In 2006, the U.S. Mint struck over 14 billion Lincoln cents across Philadelphia and Denver, each featuring the shield reverse introduced the following year on the 2009 Bicentennial Series. Yet, even amid that routine, production hiccups created specimens that command attention far above their 1 cent face value. Let's wander through the story of this coin, tracing its birth at the mint, the telltale anomalies that identify a prize find, the records it has set at auction, and the twists that turn ordinary change into a collector's grail. The story begins in early 2006 when the Philadelphia and Denver facilities operated almost around the clock to meet public demand. Philadelphia pieces bear no mint mark, while Denver coins carry a small D just below the date. Both versions feature Victor Brenner's iconic Lincoln portrait on the obverse and a bold new shield design on the reverse, meant to symbolize the unity of states joined under one federal government. While the shield reverse officially debuted in 2010, trial strikes and pattern coins began appearing in limited quantities a few years prior. Some of these experimental shield-backed 2006 pieces leaked into collector sets, creating highly sought-after prototypes. Those pattern coins, often struck on planchets of varying metal compositions, can fetch five-figure sums when authenticated, revealing a glimpse of the mint's transition from the Lincoln Memorial to the shield motif. For collectors on the lookout, the most dramatic 2006 rarities stem from off-center errors and filled dies. An off-center strike exceeding 20% can displace Lincoln's bust into the rim, leaving a crescent of blank planchet on one side. When the shift surpasses 30%, the result is a visually striking anomaly that in pristine condition has drawn bids over $3,000 at specialist auctions. Filled die errors, where grease or debris fills part of the die cavity, produce weakly struck areas, often obscuring Lincoln's cheek or the date itself. In recent years, a well-preserved 2006 defilled die error graded by an independent service as MS64 achieved $1,200 when it crossed the block, underscoring how even subtle deviations from perfection generate collector frenzy. Beyond striking errors, look for doubled dies, a phenomenon where the die itself bears a duplicated design that transfers to each struck coin. On the 2006 cents, doubling can appear on tiny details, the rim, the letters In God We Trust, or the date. One of the finest examples, a 2006 P-doubled die obverse, displays clear, parallel doubling on the motto and drapery lines, earning a $950 sale price in late 2023. These doubled dies differ from postment damage because the doubling is sharp and consistent, indicating production irregularities rather than wear or mishandling. Armed with a 10x loop, you'll find that genuine die doubling on these coins exhibits crisp, mirror-like lines compared to the ragged appearance of environmental damage. Auction houses have reported fluctuating demand based on condition and error severity. A common date circulated 2006 penny might trade hands for 12 to 15 cents in bulk lots, but a pristine MS65, mint state 65, specimen routinely commands $3 to $6, reflecting strong interest among collectors who target high-grade modern pieces. When you factor in error types, values climb dramatically. A 40% off-center MS63 plain edge 2006 decent sold for $2,700 in early 2024, while a rare 2006 P-plated planchet cameo prototype displaying a copper-nickel blend distinct from a standard zinc core brought $11,500 at a New York auction. Those pattern strikes remind us that the mint's experimentation with metal compositions occasionally spilled into collector channels, leaving a handful of prototype pieces coveted for their uniqueness. Behind the numerical values lie personal anecdotes that illustrate the thrill of discovery. One California collector recounts finding a 2006 P-penny with a misplaced die gouge, a small gouge that appears as a raised line across Lincoln's coat, while sorting pocket change. Initially dismissing it as postment damage, he later learned the gouge aligned perfectly with a die crack known to exist only in a specific production window, turning his find into a $1,500 windfall. Across the Atlantic, a visitor to a U.S. coin show in London spoke of unearthing a Denver-minted 2006 cent in a small antique shop, its surface bearing a ghostly impression of another coin overlay. That double-struck piece realized $900 at auction, reminding us that treasures can turn up anywhere fortune and curiosity intersect. Condition remains king in determining value tiers. In the Sheldon scale, circulated grades run from AG3, about good, through VF30 very fine, often fetching only face value plus a small premium. As coins graduate into uncirculated grades, MS60 to MS70, the market breathes with anticipation. A 2006 PMS67 certified perfect by a major grading service won $45 in a 2023 sale, a testament to how modern coins, despite their abundance, still attract competitive bidding at top grades. Contrast that with an MS64 dealer store off-center error of the same date, which vaulted to $2,200 due to its dual allure of high grade and dramatic misstrike. Veteran collectors stress photographing potential high-end finds under balanced lighting to reveal surface luster and any hidden flaws, ensuring the submitted piece reflects its true grade. Metal composition adds another dimension to 2006 cents collectability. Standard specimens feature a core of pure zinc electroplated with 2.5% copper, but a handful of misplated examples where copper coating is too thick or too thin occasionally slip through quality controls. These plating anomalies create coins with a deeper red hue or a stark silver appearance where the plating is virtually absent. One such silver-toned 2006 PP sold for $1,100 in 2022, labeled a zinc flash by insiders for the way its surface peels to reveal the underlying metal. Recognizing plating defects requires examining the coin's color under daylight or LED lamps. Collectors prize the contrast between the usual copper warmth and the unexpected silver sheen. Wrapping up the tale of the 2006 penny, remember that what seems ordinary often conceals the extraordinary. A glance at the date won't reveal the drama of doubling dies or the subtle shimmer of a thinly plated prototype. Whether you're a seasoned collector chasing error-struck marvels or someone who simply holds a worn 2006 cent in hand, the journey from circulation to collection runs through inspection, authentication, and the delight of discovery. As you examine that next penny rolling across your palm, think of the hands that pressed it and the rare moments when minting imperfections transformed a common coin into a coveted artifact. Every scratch, shift, and sheen is part of a narrative spun in copper and zinc, stories waiting to be told one penny at a time.